welcome to this last session of our series, that is how to prepare business plans. And today we are going to talk about a very important aspect, that is finance in a startup. So what are the financial aspects? What are the requirements which you should know in advance in terms of financial, that is the financial requirements in a business plan, right? So I welcome you all again to this session, and I hope whatever we are going to cover in this session is going to help you out in preparing your B plans. All right. So in first year, that is when you are starting your, you are actually taking your idea and you want to commercialize your idea. So in first year, what mistake generally happens is that we start thinking of what revenue we are going to earn. That is, okay, if I'm preparing this much, I'm going to get this much. I'm going to earn 20% of profit on whatever I'm earning or whatever I am selling. But in this, we forget to estimate the cost or the expenses which we are going to incur in the first year itself. Why? Because first year is the crucial year, because we do not have any source of fund inflow. We look upon our friends and relatives, because bank is not going to provide you any fund until and unless you have something concrete in hand, right? So first year we are banking upon our family first and foremost. Second is our friends. If we have some good friends and they really love you, so they'll help you out. Okay, take this money and do whatever you want, right? But that's a loan. All right, that is not your money. So when we do not have enough sources of funds, what do? We have to cautiously plan our expenditure so that we do not let down the near and dear ones who are providing funds for our venture, for our dream to come true, right? So the first year is very important, and it is very important to estimate your expenses rather than your revenue. Revenue, no doubt, is necessary, because until and unless you earn revenue, you will not be able to sustain your business, right? So it is very important to have your revenue keep generating, right? First year is important as far as the expenditure is concerned. We really need to have a very accurate accurate estimate of the cash outflow which is going to occur, right? So when we are very clear that, okay, we have to concentrate on cost and not revenue, then you should also know that what is cost, right? So anybody from the group, can you tell me what is cost? What is your understanding about the cost? Anyone? Please tell me your name and then you can answer. No one?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, my
Yes,
name is
yes, Adrika.
Ma'am, the money which we pay for something.
Money which you pay for something, exactly, right? So we know that what is cost? Anything which we are spending in order to create our product, right? So that is cost. Is there any difference between cost and loss? Cost is different from loss, because whatever you are spending, if you are getting value out of it, you can say that it is a cost, right? But when you spend something and you do not get any return out of it, that is your loss, right? Now, next is develop an understanding regarding the nature of cost, right? So, what do you mean by nature of cost? When we say nature of cost means, do you know what is direct and indirect cost? Right? When we say nature of cost, do you know what is fixed and variable cost? When we say nature of cost, do you know what is short run cost, what is immediate cost, and what is long run cost? right? So until and unless we understand the nature of cost, we will not be able to justify our financial statements, right? And our managerial decisions related to our business. So direct cost is the cost which you are incurring directly in converting your input into output. That is, that cost is visible in your product or service. Indirect cost is you need office staff, you need various other support services in order to run your business. So what are you going to do? Because that cost is not visible in your product. So you are going to recover that cost from your product only, right? So you need to identify a suitable method by which you can distribute that indirect cost on your product cost, right? Second is, do you understand what is fixed and variable cost? What is fixed cost? What is variable cost? Fixed cost is the cost which will remain fixed over a period of time, right? No cost is fixed in long run. In long run, each and every cost becomes variable. Why? Because say for example, you have started your business in a small setup. After 5 years, you feel that there is a requirement of expansion. So rent which you were paying for your setup for 5 years was fixed for 5 years. But now you need to take another block and pay rent for that. So it becomes your variable cost. Now your total rent has increased, right? So in long run, each cost element will become a variable cost element. There is no term as a fixed cost in long run, right? So you should know, but since you take decisions for short period of time, your decisions are related to immediate sales, then we need to understand that which cost is our fixed cost, which cost is our variable cost, right? And which cost needs to be recovered first from your revenue. Then another important feature is that you should know what are immediate expenses, what are short run costs, and what are long run costs, right? When we talk about immediate expenses, we'll have the sheet. I'll show you the sheet after we complete the basics. These are some immediate requirements of any startup, right? So immediate expenses are dealt in a different manner. Short run costs, they are dealt in a different manner, and we need to plan differently for long run expenses, right? Then next is, let's talk about revenue now, right? So once we are clear that this is going to be our expenditure pattern, we are doing business because of revenue, right? So what do we do generally is, I've seen so many students, they come to us and they say, ma'am, हमने इतना सोचा था पर हमारा revenue उतना तो हुआ ही नहीं. We expected that we'll be able to sell 100 units, but then sales were only 50% of what we thought of. So that is little bit demotivating for any young person, because whatever we have planned is not happening, right? हमने इतना सोचा था कि we'll supply to these many people, right? But we were not able to supply. Why? Because we did not had any staff. We had no salesperson. There was COVID going on. We could not get orders, right? So when we are forecasting our revenue, forecast is of two types. One is conservative forecast and the other is aggressive forecast. So when you are approaching with your business plan to the investors, you'll have to give them both the forecasts. Okay, this is the worst case which will happen with us. This is the best what we are expecting, right? So a conservative forecast will have its own assumptions, and aggressive forecast will have its own assumptions. So obviously you have laid down two control limits. One is at the higher end, the other one is at the lower end, and each has its own set of assumptions. What can be the assumptions in a conservative approach? Like, we will be introducing only one kind of design every year. We are not going to experiment on our product design. For every year, in first 3 years, we are going to make a little bit change in our product, right? Okay, conservative forecast may be that what will be the sales if we do not have any salesperson with us, right? We will keep the price of the product at a lower end. So that is conservative approach, that if everything happens against us, what will be the minimum revenue which our model is going to give us. If everything happens on a positive note, that is, we are getting the salesperson on a nominal salary, we are paying them, we have funds to pay them. Every year, in first year, we will come with 2 product designs. In next year, 3 new designs. In next 3 years, we are going to diversify our business. So we are optimistic. Okay? So we can have an aggressive approach and forecast our revenues. We can go for conservative approach, and you need to lay down the control limits, right? So what happens is, when we know that this is the best thing which can happen with us, this is the worst thing which can happen with us, we will be able to plan our expenditure in a better manner. We will not overestimate our expenditure, right? And if you fall into the trap of overestimation of your expenditures and underestimating your expenditures and overestimating your revenue, you will be in mess, right? So shall we move ahead? Fine. So now let's come to the point. I have prepared some Excel sheets for all of you, because what happens is that financial planning is one part in your V plan which you are preparing, that we do not find anything to write in that, because we do not know how to present it, what are the tools which are available with us, right? Has Ria joined? All right. All right. So the first and foremost is that you need to prepare an Excel sheet which will have the details of startup expenditure. That is, before you have actually started your business, these can be the possible items. Wait, somebody is waiting. All right. So these can be the possible expenses which you will incur before you actually start generating your revenue, right? Now, it is not necessary that in each and every case, all these expenses, all these heads are required. But let us discuss these heads separately. All right. Now, see, the first column is the kind of expenditure which you might incur. The second one is, what amount do you expect related to this particular head, right? Now, debt percentages, I told you, remember that initially bank is not going to provide you anything. You will have to find the way of financing through your family, friends, and later on bank, right? You can write the percentage which you will be getting as loan, or if it is you have funds along with you and you are keeping aside that fund for this particular head, then you can write debt percentage as 0 over here, right? So I'm just giving you an idea. Say for example, I need rupees 1000 for initial setup, right? Now this entire 1000 is, I do not have anyone to finance this requirement, so I have rupees 1000. So I'll put this 1000 rupees in my setup cost, right? So this becomes your owner's equity. Who is the owner of business? I am the owner of business, right? All right. Now something is required for advertising also, because then how will you make aware, how will you get the market access? So for initial advertising, say for example, I need 500, right? Now my friend is ready to sponsor this 500 to me. So 100% amount is being sponsored by my friend. So it becomes my debt, right? All right. I need to hire somebody for developing my brand, design cost, etc. So I'll be incurring that. But say for example, I do not want to spend anything on this right now, right? Insurance is that whatever building I have, whatever fixed assets I have, I'll have to insure my business. So I'll have to pay premium for that insurance, right? So there will be some cost related to insurance. I'll have to hire somebody. I'll have to pay some kind of legal fees related to business. So that again is there. Say for example, these are only hypothetical figures just to make you understand, right? Now only 20% is being, my father said that okay, इतना पैसा आप इसमें से मेरे से ले लेना. So 20% is being financed by the external, and this becomes my owner's equity. All right. I'll have to register my company. If not even if I'm not starting as a company, then it is like the proprietorship, sole proprietorship concern. If we are 2-3 partners, then we can have a partnership firm. Or if I have adequate funds and I'm very determined, then obviously we can go for a private limited company. But then the compliances are more in case of private limited companies as compared to sole proprietorship concerns, right? So accordingly, your registration charges will be there. Then if you are not from commerce or management background, you will have to hire one accountant. Why? Because he'll be preparing all these things for you. He'll be maintaining your accounts in tally. He'll be doing every kind of work related to financial statements. So you'll have to pay fee to that person. All right. Now, since nowadays you cannot work without computers. So you will need to have some softwares installed. You will need to have some office for computers. So these costs, say for example, I know this is my cost. So, and this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be entire my funding, right? All right. Can I work alone? There are two ways. Either I have partners with me who will be able to help me out, so they'll be owners. Or if I'm doing it all alone, I need somebody whom I'll have to pay salary, right? So employee pre-startup salaries can be there. So say for example, this is the amount. Then I'll have to hire employees. So cost of hiring is also there. I'm only putting up hypothetical figures. All right. All right. So when I start my business, before that, I'll have to do some research part also. So let us assume that research cost comes out to be this much. I'll have to buy certain raw materials. If I'm trading, I'll have to buy from the suppliers. So that cost also needs to be incurred. So that I'm going to incur. Then I'll have to get internet connection for my business. I'll have to set up my office. Then this is very important, working capital requirement. What is working capital? It is the liquidity which you will be requiring for day-to-day running of your business, right? So that working capital requirement also you need to mention over here. Fine. Now you'll have to buy furniture also. So that may be your cost of furniture, right? Then you need to maintain certain fund for contingencies. That is those expenses which you do not know will occur, or you are not able to foresee those expenditures. Then you have, if you are into manufacturing, you will have to buy some machines. All right. If you do not have enough funds to buy for machines, will you be taking help of some external already established setups or factories or whatever, right? Then these are certain heads which are general for all startups. So it is not necessary, even you can even have only one out of these heads. You may be able to identify 5 expenditure heads. You may be able to identify 10 expenditure heads. It depends upon what your B plan is, right? Then we keep certain amount for miscellaneous expenses. Then we need to have telephone. I mean, nowadays you can have, because you need to have a different mobile for your business, right? So you need to separate your personal expenses with your business expenses, right? Then you might need some transportation, that is vehicles might be required to transport your products from one place to another. So that again, that cost also you need to consider. Then the most important nowadays is development of website, right? So you need to keep out a certain budget for development of website. Now see, website development costs very high. Fine. So you need to search out ways that how can you minimize on this cost. Fine. So either you team up with a person who is technically skilled up, or ask someone else to help you out in the initial days. Right. So this is how you prepare the statement of initial expenditure which will be required before you start your business. This will give you an idea that how much money, how much capital you are putting in. Say for example, we have identified that rupees 82,000 will be our initial cost, right? So out of this, 540 I'll be able to get loan. थोड़ा सा बढ़ा देते हैं इसको, कहाँ पर है हमारा ये फर्नीचर. Say for example 50% and able to 5%. So 21,290 is my debt obligation, and my own capital is 60,710. I hope this is clear to everyone. So all of you, those who are preparing B plan, you have to prepare this statement of your initial expenditures, right? All right. Now next is before balance sheet, we move on to short-term forecast of cash flows. So whenever your business plan is evaluated, basically you are asked, okay, what is your estimation or forecast of revenue for next 1 year, then second year to fifth year, and beyond fifth year, right? So what do we do is we can prepare a forecast of cash flows, and cash flows forecast is nothing. It is whatever cash you have in hand, add the sources of cash inflow and minus whatever is going out, right? So what do we do is we can prepare a monthly forecast of cash inflows and outflows. Fine. So for that you need to have certain estimates which will come through your research which you have done. In case you are doing certain kind of research in your market, you have floated some questionnaires with the help of which you have been able to forecast your demand. Based on that, you will be able to give a forecast of cash flows. So this, what I have included here is that this is your monthly forecast, right? So monthly forecast means that, say for example, I have pre-startup cash in hand, whatever cash you have, say for example 50,000 you have, right? Now when we are talking of pre-startup, in pre-startup, will you have any cash sales, collection from debtors, cash from other sources? आपको मिलेगा ये? You will not be able to sell anything because you have not even started. So this column you will leave blank, right? Then what is your total cash receipt? Total cash receipt will be cash 50,000 plus whatever you will get over here. So that will be your total cash receipt, right? Okay. I forgot to ye plus 90. Total cash receipt. All right. And total cash available will be your cash in hand at the beginning plus your cash receipts. All right. Now this is our cash inflow. Then you have these expenses, cash paid out. So in pre-startup, you must have purchased something, right? You must have hired somebody to whom you paid wages. You must have taken some premises on rent, जिस पर आपने शायद कुछ repair या maintenance कराया हो, right? You must have advertised your product. I'm just writing randomly. You must have incurred something on travel. You must be paying rent of your office. You must be paying telephone charges, say utilities we are not paying, insurance हमने नहीं कराया. All right. Taxes भी हम नहीं कर रहे हैं अभी, ठीक है. इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट, क्योंकि हमने कुछ लोन ले रखा है, हो सकता है तो उसका कुछ इंटरेस्ट बन रहा है. Other specifies contingency, say 5,000 I've kept for contingency. All right. So my subtotal, that is my expenditure, is 46,000. Right. So if initially I had 50,000 in hand and I have planned an expenditure of 46,000, right? So, and this is my general expenditure. Capital expenditure, maybe that I have purchased furniture, right? There will be other startup cost, say 10,000. All right. See this scenario. I had 50,000 in hand initially, that is, I have 50,000 in hand, right? I incurred an expenditure of total 91,000. Is it a wise thing to do? Is it a wise thing to do? No. Why? Because I went into a minus cash balance of 41,000. So all these things you need to plan in advance only. What are the costs which can be cut down? What are the costs wherein I can cut down my expenditure, right? So maybe furniture, only that thing I can go for second hand furniture. I can compromise upon the quality. I can take second hand furniture. Other startup cost also, if I want to reduce, right? अभी हम registration नहीं कराएंगे, हम rent के लिए कोई छोटा ऑफिस का सेटअप ढूंढ लेते हैं, ठीक है. 2 लोगों की जगह हम एक से काम चला लेंगे, राइट. Advertising, if you can compromise, look in for, ask your friend who is working with you that you do social media marketing, so I'll be able to save 5,000 on this, right? So like this, now I have been able to minimize my expenses. I am in 6,000 surplus. I still have some cushion with me, right? Because I have not started selling anything. Now, since when we start our business, we'll be able to sell something based upon demand forecast, right? So now say, for example, in first month, you estimate the sales to, for each of the 12 months, you estimate your sales to right. So in 12 months, you estimate, okay, there will be no major fluctuations in my sales. Cash sales will be 10,000, right? Now collection from debtors, because if I want to gain hold on the market, I'll have to go for credit sales as well, right? So whatever are the credit sales, I'll be able to receive, say, 12,000 every month. This is very hypothetical. I'm telling you, but just to make you aware that this is how we actually work on our cash flow statements, right? So every month, on an average, I'll receive rupees 12,000 from my debtors, to whom we are giving credit sales. Now these can be some other sources, maybe that I have made an FD and I'll be receiving interest on that. You have invested, short-term investments are there in your business, but initially you will not do all these things, right? So maybe this row can be left blank for first year, right? Now come to your expenses. So these are going to be your expenses, right? In first year, obviously, say for example, we assume that 60% of your total sales, so 22,000, around 60%, say for example, 12,000 is going to be your expenditure, and your expenditure increases with 10%, right? So my expenditure increases with 10%, although my sales are not increasing, right? So you'll have to pay something. आप gross wages 1000 पर ही काम कर रहे हो, ठीक है? You are not increasing because you cannot pay right now, and these will be your, so we can do anything, right? So this is only hypothetical. So like this you will prepare the estimate of your expenditure. Then obviously if you have taken loan from somebody, you will start repaying that amount. So maybe first year you are not paying anything, but maybe in 12th month you will pay something to that to the debt holder, right? So like this you can estimate that this is total cash paid out. Now cash position. In first, before starting my business, I had net 6,000 in my hand, right? At the end of first month, my cash balance increases to 15,000. So this 15,000 becomes my opening balance of second month, right? So like this you have the cash balances after every month. So this is how you can prepare an estimate of your cash flows every month, right? Now if you want to make it for 3 years, what you are going to do is, here you are going to total it up, and this O column will be your first year forecast of cash flows. Then you will continue again for months, say this is 2020, say this is year 2020, right? January to December. Now this again you will prepare a forecast of next year, and this will be your year 2021, and like this you take the total of 3 years, and probably then you can have a new summary sheet where you can total up all these 3 years cash balances, right? All right. Then next thing is that every year you need to have your balance sheet also ready. You will not have to prepare your balance sheet like this, what I'm telling you right now, but we already have so many softwares. You can work on Tally. So you just need to know the basic accounting concepts, right? Or keep somebody in your team who knows accounting, because it is not a wise thing to hire an accountant in the initial days, right? So in your team only somebody should be there who can do this initial accounting for all of you, right? So a balance sheet contains what? You can prepare a balance sheet also in your business plan, which will give the status of current liabilities, then long-term liabilities, the loans which you have taken, then these are your current assets, cash, accounts receivable, inventory, short-term investments, prepaid expenses. These are your long-term assets, property, equipment. If you have purchased some other investments, which you are not going to do in your initial days. So maybe this will be just half of what I have shown you will be your balance sheet in the initial year, right? So this is how you can total it up. You can put some formulas over here, simple summation formulas you can put, and then you can prepare your balance sheet. Now, another thing which the evaluators of B plan will ask you is, okay, this is your B plan. At what point you will be having your break even, right? So this is an Excel template with the help of which you can calculate your break even point, right? So see, in this column we have written price per unit. Fine. So I've taken a hypothetical case just to explain you all. I'm just deleting it for now. All right. So this is the price of a product which we have thought of, that this is what we are going to charge. These are your fixed expenses which you have thought of कि आपके ये fixed expenses होंगे, right? This is your variable cost per unit which you are anticipating, okay, this is going to be my variable cost per unit, right? So you total this up, this is your variable cost per unit. ये क्या है? Sum है इसका यहाँ पर, ठीक है? Here you have your total fixed cost, which is nothing but the sum of all these figures which we have taken, right? Now the formula for calculation of break-even point is B21, that is your total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, and contribution per unit is selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit will give you break even volume. So it is telling you that if you produce 80 units, you will be able to reach your break even point. Break even point means that beyond this level you are going to earn profit. इसके ऊपर हमें profits होने लग जाएंगे, right? उसके पहले तो आपको नुकसान होगा, right? So what do? Is we identify these items of cost. This is variable cost, and we calculate our tentative break even point, right? Then what do? We prepare a sheet. Let us assume that initially we are producing 20 units, then we moved on to 30 units, then 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 we are producing, right? So what is the fixed cost we are incurring? Fixed cost will not change in short run. Short run may it will remain constant. So it is 2560. Variable cost. What is variable cost? Variable cost is this 28 is your per unit cost and you are producing 20 units. So 28 into 20 becomes your total variable cost. If you drag it down, ये पूरा formula नीचे आ जाएगा, ठीक है? Now what will be my total cost? My total cost will be fixed cost plus variable cost, right? So we put this formula, we drag it down, we get the total cost for each and every level, right? So what are we going to do? We are going to drag it down. This is our total cost, right? Now what is our total revenue? Total revenue is 60 rupees we are charging for one unit, right? And this is the total number of units being sold, 20. So 60 into 20 is your revenue. So we put the formula and then we drag it down. All right. So this is our profit and loss. Profit means profit or loss can be calculated as revenue minus cost. So initially you can see that till 70 units, you are incurring a loss of 320. So you need not be disheartened, okay, that I have not started earning profits, right? Because it may be possible that you did not calculated your break even point and you thought, okay, that today I'm making the sales and I'll be getting profit. It's not that easy. So you need to calculate your break even point and you will be mentally prepared that up to these many units I'll be incurring losses, and so I have to either scale up my production so that or do something कि मेरा break even जल्दी आ जाए, right? So you can prepare a graph also for which you need to select these variables. Okay, revenue I've selected, and we go to insert, and we go to insert, and where do we go? We select this chart. All right, so this is our break even. If I remove this variable cost line because this is not required. All right, so you can see this gray line is your cost line and this orange line is your revenue line. They are intersecting at this point 80, और 80 ही आपने यहाँ calculate किया था. Beyond 80, that is if you increase your production increase करने का मतलब we are assuming कि उतना ही आप sales भी हो रही हैं आपकी. All right, so if you are able to sell and produce more than 80 units, you will be able to cover up your cost. Is it clear? Or what can I do if I want to bring my BEP down? Can anybody suggest? What should I do? Can I compromise on some of the fixed cost? Or what can I do? If I am able to reduce this cost from rupees 4 to rupees 2 per unit. Now see carefully, right now your break even sales is 80. Now what is your break-even sales? 75. That is, you are able to bring down your break-even point by strategizing whatever you are doing. I mean, whatever plan you have, you should have a clear idea that this is the level beyond which I'll be getting profits. All right. So we have less time. Next was I wanted to discuss the forecasting of sales, because how will you come to know? Okay, I know that 75 units per I'll have my break even, but when will you be able to sell 75 units? Is it going? Will you be able to sell it after 3 years? Then till 3 years you will be running into losses, or you will be selling it in the first year itself, right? So for that you need to have some forecasting techniques as well. So maybe that we'll cover up all these things in future sessions, but I think these Excel sheets will help you out in preparing the financial plan of your business plan, right? So now I am not sharing, I'm stop sharing my screen. I would invite Ria Bansal if she's there in our team right now. Ria? Ria? Is she there? Ria Bansal, she is waiting. Just let me add her. Ria? So why I asked Ria to join this session was because they are the ones who faced the problem of finance from day one. So I thought she is the best person to share her experiences related to problems which a startup face related to finance. Ria Bansal? Ria? I can see her, but she's not, she's on mute right now. Ria? Ria? She has left. All right, meanwhile, I can take questions from you if you have any questions related to what we have discussed today. Ria? Any questions?
Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar. Is it Ria?
Ma'am, we have. No, ma'am, Aditi this side.
Okay. Okay, you have a question. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, me and my team have created the financial plan and everything. We have the service, not the product.
You are?
We have a service, ma'am, not a
You
product.
have a service, right?
Yes, ma'am. So, we have all planned the financial things, the balance sheet, the indirect, direct, everything that you have just now said. And we are going to include more things that we have missed in this during the Excel sheet. But
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, we had few queries regarding the questions that would be asked to us.
Hmm.
day after tomorrow, about how can we answer the questions would be asked, how questions would be asked, as in about the
See,
plan. About,
questions will be, see, there are two things which the evaluator focuses upon. One is sustainability and its commercial viability, right? Because what happens is I have seen a lot of engineers who have a lot of ideas. Some have prepared some machines with technology. They prepare so many things, right? But those